Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the John J. Moore Athletic and Fitness Center in Jersey City as we bring you game 1 of 2 today here on Gothic Vision. It could be a potential playoff preview as NJCU, currently in 6th place in the league standings, takes on 1st place Rowan University. The Profs, they're 9-1 in the league, 15-2 overall. The Gothic Knights coming in at 6-10, 4-6 on the season. I'm Ira Thor, and thanks for watching here on Gothic Vision. I'm subbing in today for our usual play-by-play announcers who all are busy, but I have flown 3,000 miles. I was literally in the air last night at midnight Eastern time to fly back, and here we are, no jet lag, ready to bring you some NJAC basketball. Let's take a look at the lineup first for Rowan. Kennedy Brown, sophomore guard out of Newark, Delaware. The other guard, Nicole Moward. She's a one-time NJAC Rookie of the Week, 5'7", out of Washington, New Jersey, wearing number 20. And the third guard is Grace Marshall, a 5'6" sophomore from Belmar, New Jersey. Potentially the best player in the conference is Ayanna Johnson, number 25, two-time NJAC Player of the Week, 5'11", out of Ewing, New Jersey. And Eliana Santana, 5'9" freshman swing out of Pennsauken, rounds out the lineup. Rowan coached by Demetrius Poles in his first season. Now let's take a look at your upstart Gothic Knights. NJCU is in 6th place. If the season ended right now, they would make an NJAC tournament appearance for the first time since 1989. Hannah Johnson has come on as of late. The senior transfer, her only year for the Gothic Knights, wearing number 3. She'll be joined at the guard spot by Leah McCrae, who recently was named the second team captain alongside Johnson. She's at the point guard spot. Sarah Edmond, this week's NJAC Rookie of the Week. Strong rebounder out of Bloomfield, New Jersey, at the small forward spot. Ayanna Lewis, awesome game against Kane in a loss on Wednesday. 28 points, 13 boards. And the other forward at the wing position is number 30, Deja Anderson, junior guard out of East Orange. So tall test here for the Gothic Knights, going up against, on paper right now, the best team in the league. But Rowan, it hasn't been as easy for them as you would imagine. Rutgers Camden right now is out of playoff position. They only were victorious over the Scarlet Raptors on Wednesday, 65-61. So it'll be Anderson jumping against Lewis. Lewis is averaging just a tremendous year overall, including 14.4 rebounds. Ball is tipped and controlled here by Rowan as we are live from Jersey City. 3-point shot off the back rim, no good. But grabbing the rebound is Santana. Rowan with good ball movement early on, taking it baseline. That's looks like a block by Lewis, but they're going to call a foul. Definitely don't want to get her in foul trouble early on. She has been key to the Gothic Knights' surge here in the second half of the year. Send Moward to the line on the year, a 70.8% foul shooter. And she gives Rowan a quick 1-0 lead 20 seconds into the game. That's good as well, as that one swishes through the net. 2-0 Pross in front. Leah McCrae, she saved the ball. McCrae had that one knocked away, picked up here by Edmond. 10 to shoot. Anderson to Lewis. Lewis, cross-court pass, dangerous. 3 to shoot. And the Gothic Knights are not going to get it off, so they're going to have a turnover to start the game. Something that Rowan has been very good at on the year. They've forced on average 23.9 turnovers per contest. They are outscoring opponents by more than 10 points a game off of turnovers, 25.6 points. Lewis reached for that one, nearly was called for a foul. Taking it down the lane, left-handed miss by Santana, picked up by McCray. McCray up the floor at the point guard spot now without Alexandria Sams at the position for the rest of the year. So her season has come to a close. And that's going to force McCray, who has started sometime this year, into a bigger leadership role. 10 to shoot. Three-pointer by Johnson's going to be off the mark. Loose ball, and it's picked up here by Mallard. Right-handed floater, that's no good. Edmond swatted at it like a volleyball player. That's a fall sport, and it'll be Rowan basketball. Nearly a 5-second call. That's a very high dribble there by Johnson. Santana gets trapped by Hannah Johnson. Three-point attempt, back rim no good. Skying for the rebound, coming down with it is Johnson, and they will reset. And then a right-handed floater in and out, loose ball on the floor, and McCray, the smallest player on the floor, comes up with it for the Gothic Knights. McCray up the floor, McCray, that one is partially blocked, and loose ball is scooped up here by Grace Marshall. Now Santana throws up a wild floater, and no good. Loose ball. Deja Anderson in a very fast-paced game so far. Gothic Knights have boded well when they have pressed early. Let's see if they make Rowan work for it. Inlet pass by Johnson has thrown away, easily swatted away by Santana. And we're going to get a quick sub here. Neil will join us in a second. That one, spin move, a little bit uncoordinated on that one. It was, wow, I've unexpected to see that move, but Gothic Knights would love to see that all game long. 3 minutes in here, 2-0 Rowan. The Gothic Knights nearly knocked off Kane on the road on Wednesday, losing 72-70. What energy do they have coming off of that one? Johnson loses the ball on the floor, picked up by Lewis. It falls, and she'll go to the line with a chance for a three-point play. Foul is charged to Santana. Johnson will come out in favor of Neal. And the free throw in and out. And Maya Neal was able to save it falling out of bounds, so immediately paying dividends as she checks into the game. Jumper by Lewis is short. Neal tied up there with Ayana Johnson, and it'll be a possession arrow in favor of the Gothic Knights. Lewis with it out to Anderson. She pulls up. That shot is off the mark. Easy rebound for Santana. Santana inside. That's thrown away. Picked up by Anderson, who's excellent in transition. Anderson to the basket. Anderson scores. And the Knights lead 4-2. Well, this one was not close the first time these teams met down in Glassboro, as that shot is well off the mark. Last touched by Anderson. It'll be Rowan basketball. Teams met on December 7th, and it was all Rowan, 83-47, dominated every facet of the game. However, the Knights have been a very different team since then. As they've won 4 of their last 6 NJAC games, and the ones they've lost have been close. That's swatted away by Edmond. McCray up the floor. McCray has the angle. McCray off the glass. And it's a 6-2 lead. That one will go down as Santana throws it up, and that one is able to convert. 6-4. NJCU on top. Neal on the sideline. Not a good crowd early on as this one was moved up from 1 p.m. to 12 p.m. just a few days ago, and it is pouring outside here in Jersey City. Lewis, jumper, no good, and Santana with another board. In traffic, that one is blocked by Lewis. Anderson has it for NJCU. Anderson, she is going to be fouled going to the basket. Mallard the infraction. Substitution, we're going to see Zaire Taylor-Gaston in to give Lewis a breather. Out to Anderson. Under 5 minutes ago here in the opening quarter, live from the John J. Moore Athletic and Fitness Center in Jersey City. McCray thought about the three. McCray all the way to the basket, swoops it in. Man, Leah McCray, she's just 5'1" to transfer from CCNY. And then a steal for Neal. Steal by Neal, can't convert. And Edmonds, the NJAC Rookie of the Week, is hacked. And a foul charged to Grace Marshall. It'll send Edmond to the line. Sarah Edmond on the season. Not a good free throw shooter, 48.3%. That won't help. But 5.8 points, 8.0 rebounds has contributed mightily. That makes 1 out of 2, so the Gothic Knights leading 9-4. And last touch by NJC. It'll be Rowan basketball. Inlet pass is thrown away, and Taylor-Gaston on the inbounds will pick it up. Gaston looking sideline, and a tie up there between McCray and Marshall. Nine-4 Knights on top. Long three-pointer is good. Grace Marshall, the sophomore from Belmar, New Jersey, knocks it down. That cuts the Gothic Knight lead to 2. Looking inside, McCray, I should say Neal was to Gaston. That's thrown away, picked up by Santana. Edmond, step too late. Drive to the basket is no good. That is left short by Brown, but the second chance, Anna Johnson showing why she has been so clutch this year for Rowan, and the game is tied at 9 apiece. And then Neal, the floater off the rim. That's going to be in and out. Johnson comes up with it and sends it over to Brown. 9-9, about 3:15 to go here in the first quarter. Three-pointer is good. Grace Marshall with back-to-back triples. And Rowan has an 8-0 run. 12-9 is your score. We'll be back here on Gothic Vision. Back here in Jersey City, trying to deal with our live stats right now are not functioning as I'm broadcasting a game, so I can't really troubleshoot as doing two things at once. Speaking of troubleshooting, Lewis able to grab that one in traffic, and then a foul is charged to the Profs. That is their third foul. That is charged to Ayanna Johnson, her first. And an Ayanna Johnson and an Ayanna Lewis, and those are probably your two front runners for the NJAC Defensive Player of the Year. And Johnson, quite frankly, might win both awards because she has arguably been the best player overall in the entire conference this year. Anderson back rim, no good. Another board for Johnson. And then Deja Anderson, a tie up there with Mallard. She'll get called for the foul. Ended up, they charged to Sarah Edmond, who wasn't anywhere near the ball. That was on Anderson, not Edmond, so I'm not understanding that call there. But either way, Rowan with the reset. Three-pointer is well off the mark by Brown. McCray, man, 5'1", she keeps coming down with the rebound, slipping through openings. Finds Hannah Johnson, who's now back into the game after the timeout. Johnson couldn't handle that pass. 12-9. Anderson, jumper, that's wide. And a rebound here for Santana. Rowan basketball here. Johnson to the rim. That one is left short as she goes falling to the floor. Hannah Johnson is called for the foul, and it'll send Johnson, the other Johnson, to the line. That one is good. Anna Johnson on the year, averaging 14.4 rebounds a game, 7.3 points. Her rebounding numbers are remarkable. 113 offensive, 131 defensive through 17 games. Anna Lewis with it. Now to Anderson. Rowan, their run is 10-0. Anna Johnson floater. That one is partially deflected. Lewis with the rebound. That looks like she was fouled. Nothing is called. Head coach Pat Devaney wanting to know why no contact. Ultimately, a foul was called on the third chance. Maya Neal came up with it. And Pat Devaney has been issued a warning by the head official, Robert Siege. Send Maya Neal to the line. Neal, the junior out of East Orange. Knocks down the first one. The Knights are not a good foul shooting team on the year. Just 53.8% coming in. That's been going to point to their biggest Achilles heel. Well, that's at the very top in Sharpie. Black magic marker. But, just as I say that, Neal, who had only attempted 6 foul shots all year, knocks down both. So she's now 6 out of 8 on the year. And shocking there that Johnson called for the foul as Nicole Mallard ran her over like a freight train. And that will send now Mallard to the line. That's 5 fouls per team. And Johnson pleading not to sub me out, but now with 2 fouls, no choice here as Sarah Edmond returns. Savannah Holt will come in here for the Profs. She'll give Ayanna Lewis a breather. And also now in the game, Paige Caldwell, a junior guard out of Woodstown, New Jersey. 15-11, and a traveling violation called on McCray. Rowan trying to extend this run as we approach the final minute of the quarter. Three-pointer banked in by Mallard. Rowan with their third three-pointer of the quarter. It's a 14-2 run. Gothic Knights have not had a field goal in about 6 minutes. And then Lewis with an unnecessary foul there. No, they are gonna call it on Lewis, trying to tie up Caldwell. And Lewis, with 44.5 seconds to go, picks up a needless foul, her second. So now the Gothic Knights' top two scorers, Johnson and Lewis, both with 2 fouls apiece. And Rowan will have a chance to extend the lead from the line. Into the game is Samantha DePopolo. I haven't seen much of her this year. She's been injured, but she's out on the floor. That one is left short. Rowan was 5 of 6 from the line prior to that attempt. That one is good. And Rowan will bring in Juliet Tobin, junior guard out of Deptford. Ira Thor with you live here on Gothic Vision. Rowan starting to pull away from this one. That pass was behind the DePopolo from Anderson, and the Gothic Knights have committed their 7th turnover of the opening quarter. It's a 15-3 run overall. NJCU just one of their last 9 shooting from the floor. Last field goal for NJCU was layup by McCray with 4:40 to go. The Knights may not score for the final half of this opening quarter. No look attempt there is left short by Holt. Anderson up to McCray. 20 seconds to go in the quarter. McCray to Taylor Gasson. Left it short. There'll be a tie-up, but Taylor Gasson comes up with it. 13 to go. Anderson drives. Anderson, the running floater, no good. Tries to grab her own rebound and is leveled. She'll go to the line with 8.6 to go in the quarter after a foul being charged. No. Are they calling it an offensive foul on the loose ball? They are. So it is not against Rowan, it is against Anderson, despite the reach over the back. And that's her second foul. So now NJCU's top 3 scorers, all with 2 fouls in less than 10 minutes. And the Knights already find themselves with some adversity. Free throw attempt by Caldwell is good. She'll have one more. That one will rim in. The run is 17-3. 6 to go in the quarter. That will be thrown away by Taylor Gaston, and the Gothic Knights are crumbling here in the last 4 minutes of a quarter that they had a sizable lead in. One second to go, three-pointer, in and out. And Rowan will head to the break, 21-11. The Profs with a 16-3 run. You're watching NJCU women's basketball here on Gothic Vision. We'll be back for the second quarter. Second quarter underway here in Jersey City. It'll be Gothic Knight possession. NJCU shot just 4 of 17 in the opening quarter. Rowan was just 5 out of 20 as Neal hits for 3. The Knights were just 5 out of 20, I should say 4 of 17, but Rowan was 5 out of 20. But the difference is the points off the turnovers, as that one is lost. Couldn't handle the pass was number 11, Alexis Criley, who's into the game for the first time. Last year's honorable mention all NJAC performer into the game for the first time. Hannah Johnson on the sideline is absolutely frustrated that there wasn't a call there. And that is turnover number 10. Correction, number 9. 9 for the Knights. 7-point lead now for Rowan after the triple by Neal. Losing the ball there was Tobin. 10 to shoot, and last touch by the Knights. So Rowan will have the ball with 10 on the shot clock. Gothic Knights have to get over this early frustration and recompose in a game right now that really anybody's for the take, because Rowan's not shooting well. They don't realize that there's 6 to shoot. Holt with it. Three-pointer, left side. That is good at the buzzer by Paige Caldwell. And Rowan answers the NJCU 3 with a 3 of their own. Rowan is pressing. They are actually taking NJCU strategy to NJCU. And so far they are trying to force turnovers and doing so in quantity. Hannah Johnson with it. Johnson has not scored yet. That one is in and out, and Rowan has the size advantage in this one. Paige Caldwell comes up with it, swings it left side. Three-pointer is too long, and over the head of McCray. It'll be a fresh shot clock here. Three-pointer by Crilly. That is back rim, no good. Third chance for Rowan. That one is blocked by Anderson, and then she takes control. 10-point lead for the Profs. Ira Thor with you solo today here on Gothic Vision. An early start time here in Jersey City. There originally were supposed to be a couple of high school games to follow this one, but those games will no longer take place, as that one is by Neal is too far in front of McCray. Turnover number 11. Both teams will go to the bench. Criley is out. Back in is Kennedy Brown. And after the next whistle, we'll see DePopolo back in for the Knights. 24-14, Rowan on top. They're shooting just 25%, but they're 8 of 10 from the line, and they've out-rebounded NJCU 18-15, primarily on the offensive glass. That one back rim, no good. Loose ball into the hands of McCray. Santana very slow to get up for Rowan. Can NJCU take advantage? Johnson down low, looking for Edmonds, and she is grabbed by number 32, Savannah Holt, the freshman out of Upper Township. Holt, the NJAC Rookie of the Week, back on December 23rd. Rowan has a very strong freshman class. They've already had 3 players named Rookie of the Week in addition to Holt. Santana won back on November 25th, and then Mallard's been a 2-time winner, including just recently on January 6th. Three-pointer by Johnson, no good. Johnson gave up on the play, and Rowan able to capitalize. However, that pass very low by Marshall off of Rowan's feet, and the Gothic Knights with the break. Johnson gave up on the shot after missing and went back to play defense, didn't follow the shot. Gothic Knights could have had another opportunity. Johnson with it. Johnson 3 from the corner, bang! And Johnson answers from the previous possession by knocking down a triple to cut the deficit to 7. Johnson with it. Johnson takes it to the rim. That one's left short, but it gets her own rebound amongst 2 players her equal height. Loose ball and another rebound. Rowan doing a much better job following their shots than the Gothic Knights, but Johnson swats away the loose ball, and then a very frustrated Kennedy Brown reaches up and is called for the foul while lying on her back on the floor. Men's game will follow at 2 p.m. It'll be a rematch of last year's NJAC championship game, which Rowan upset NJCU here in Jersey City. A jumper by Lewis is good. Ayanna Lewis knocks it down, and the lead is now just 5. Difference between last year's men's game and this game, as that one looked like a clean block there by Lewis, but she is called for foul number 3. Substitution here. Anderson will come in for Lewis. In for Rowan will be Nicole Mallard. She'll return. That one is good. So Rowan now shooting 9 of 11 from the line. Second free throw. That one is off the mark and picked up by the NJAC Rookie of the Week, Sarah Edmond. Nominated Edmond for that award virtually every week. There's been some strong competition in the league this year. A lot of good freshmen. Pull-up jumper by Anderson, back rim, no good. Edmond battling for it with Santana, and last touch by the Profs with 5:50 to go in the opening half. Dangerous inlet pass by Johnson and taken away by the Profs. DePopolo in transition. Could not get back defensively in time, and an easy basket here by Mallard, her 8th point, and the Rowan lead is 8. Anderson with it. Anderson drives. Anderson, that one is blocked out of bounds. It'll be NJCU basketball with 17 to shoot. Substitution here, we're going to see Diana Leonardo in for DePopolo. Leonardo, another player who has not seen a ton of time this year, just 7 games on the year. She's been hurt as well, but she can shoot. Shoots a 3, banks it in. Well, we said she could shoot, got a little help from the glass, and the Gothic Knights with their 3rd three-pointer out of 6 shots. And then an offensive foul on Ayanna Johnson on the push-off on Anderson, trying to gain position, and this time, well, it was caught by Tyler Brown, the referee on that side. Johnson cross-court looking for Leonardo. She goes up, it's partially blocked, second chance, in! That one set on the rim and goes down, and 5 quick points for Leonardo off the bench, and the Gothic Knight bench excited as they're within 3. Good ball movement by Rowan. Santana got trapped though. Good defense by this contingent of Knights on the floor. Santana will drive. Santana floaters left short and looked like, I thought it was going to be an offensive foul there as she ran over Leonardo, but she was outside the restricted zone. And she'll get called for the foul. She's a couple feet back. May have gotten the benefit of that call. So it'll send Santana to the line. She's got 2 points on the day. Her first free throw attempt, that one is no good. She'll have 1 more. Gothic Knights have answered 5 straight points before that one goes in. Gothic Knights are in playoff position because they have beaten all 4 teams that are behind them in the standings the first time they played this year. Johnson, 3, bang! Hannah Johnson drills the tray, and the Knights are within 1. A sizable deficit at the end of the quarter, and then Anderson is called for what will be her 3rd foul, trying to draw the charge. She was moving. Good call by the officials. It'll send Santana back to the line. So Lewis and Anderson all with 3 fouls here in just 15 and a half minutes. And you probably will not see her again the rest of this quarter. Santana foul shot is good. The lead is 2. And she knocks down both. A turnover by the Knights. And then a foul on Edmond. And Rowan, with just 3 seconds coming off of the clock, will head right back to the line where Nicole Mallard will shoot a pair. That one rims out. We'll take a look at a replay in a moment of the Hannah Johnson triple, as our producer and director, Paul Tanasilio, actually will tweet this one out as Santana knocks that one down. The lead is 4. Rowan is going to continue to press, see if the Gothic Knights can be coaxed into turnovers. 4 minutes ago here in the first half. Edmond with it. That ball is knocked out of her hands with a karate chop by Kennedy Brown. Up the floor, Johnson. Flat-footed, she was caught and called. Well, I thought it was going to be called on her, but instead they whistle it on Maya Neal. No, they change it now. They get the call right as Kristen Kenny makes a change to the call. It's on Johnson. Johnson has her 3rd. Santana back to the line. She makes the 1st. Oh, no shot. The shot is waved off as Santana stepped over the line. And no shot. So what could have been a 2-point swing becomes just 1. And it's 32-27. DePopolo jumper from mid-range, no good. Loose ball coming up with it, and somehow tiptoeing the half-court line and the sideline was McCray. DePopolo drives baseline. DePopolo's short jumper is in. DePopolo converts. That is just the 3rd field goal of her career. She's played just 5 games in an injury-ridden freshman season. Santana inside the Johnson, a tie-up, and Neal, who's only 5'3", 5'4", tied up against Johnson, and possession arrow will favor Rowan, but that is an energy-building play for the Knights, who trail by 3. Left-handed runner by Brown. 5-point lead for the Profs, I should say. DePopolo hands it to McCray. Under 3 to go. McCray inside. Edmond off the glass. No good. Loose ball comes over to Leonardo. That is blocked out of bounds by Santana. But Leonardo, good job following the shot. Gothic Knight cheer squad making themselves heard in the background. And they're saying that was last touch by McCray. She pulled her hands back as if that was not last touch by a Rowan player, but the referees were not buying that. And that now becomes turnover number 13 for NJCU. Driving another right-hander. That is Kennedy Brown's go-to shot. Brown, her 2nd straight running layup with a right hand. And the lead is blossoms up to 7. Leonardo for 3. That one's too long. And Johnson, well, she grabs yet another rebound, her 5th. That one, a 3-pointer by Santana, no good. Maya Neal ended up sitting on the ball, falling out of bounds, and it'll be Rowan possession. Right in front of our cameraman, J.J. Bertasia, who had a fine match in his first contest of the year for the men's volleyball team, and a close loss to Kane on Tuesday night. Substitution, Zaire Taylor-Gaston will return here for Leonardo, who comes out with 5 points. And we'll see Savannah Holt come back in for Santana. Brown with a three-pointer is short, right into the hands, though, after the miss by Marshall. Nicole Mallard catches in, goes right back up, and the lead back to 9. Edmond with it. Edmond drives. Edmond has blocked. And then a foul likely on Maya Neal on the loose ball, and it is, with 1:45 to go. Fifth foul of the quarter, and that will send Rowan to the line, where they have, well, they've carved up majority of their points. They have 14 free throws made, 10 field goals made. So they have capitalized, shooting 70% from the line in this game. First free throw knocked down by Brown. Lead is now 10. That one in and out, but Popolo comes up with the Knights had clawed back within 1. But now find themselves down by double digits. And going up, jump ball is called, tied up between Edmond and Brown. Possession arrow favoring the Knights with 95 seconds to go in the opening half. Gaston trying to find an open player left. That is tipped out of bounds by Rowan. And the Knights will inbound at this time from a less advantageous spot, basically in the far corner. Inbounds to McCray. McCray thought about a three before Brown got a hand in her face. McCray is caught defensively. Gaston drives. Gaston, another tie-up, and this time Rowan with the arrow. Got to take a second to wish happy birthday to a trifecta of Gothic Knights here on our administration and staff. Associate AD Danielle Beam and Associate AD Jeffrey L. Jordan, who will be inducted in the Hall of Fame at the end of next month. Both celebrating birthdays today. What are the odds of that both Associate ADs have the same birthday? Not the same age, but the same birthday. And also a happy birthday to our graduate assistant, Lexi Miscavige, as we're under a minute to play. The Popolo goes up. She is swatted away by Johnson. And Rowan possession leading by 10. So a trifecta of Gothic Knight birthdays. And a traveling violation on Johnson. I understand it's also the birthday of Rowan's multimedia genius, Ryan Barrett, in their athletic communications office. So happy birthday to Ryan as well. Gothic Knights will sub here. Johnson will return with 3 fouls. So will Ayanna Lewis for 45 seconds to go. The Gothic Knights will gamble. Lewis goes up and lost the handle going up, trying to draw the foul. Lewis, who scored 28 points against Kane, has only 4 points here in 9 minutes. They're actually not going to call that a shot. They're going to call it a turnover. And quite frankly, either one of those is fine. Because that was a shot attempt, but it is mostly a poor decision. Poor decisions are turnovers. That one, no good. Coming up with his Edmond with 25 seconds to go. Johnson fell hard to the floor. Anderson drives. Anderson kicks it to McCray for 3. That's an air ball picked up by Johnson with 13 to go in the first half. 7 to go. Holt with it. Holt, left side. 3-point attempt. Back rim, no good at the buzzer by Marshall. And we will head to the halftime intermission with Rowan on top by 10. Profs lead 39-29. They're shooting just 29.4%. But they have capitalized from the line, 15 out of 22. And they have scored 17 points off of 16 NJCU turnovers. Rowan on the year has feasted in that area, averaging 25.6 points per game off of turnovers. Well, they're well on the way to keeping up that mark here in Jersey City. 39-29, your score. We'll head to the break in a moment. You'll see the halftime statistics from our director, Paul Tanasilli, there on your screen. We'll be back for second half action on Gothic Vision. Back here for second half action. Ira Thor with you on Gothic Vision. Game 1 of 2 here today on our rainy day in Jersey City. Paul Tanaselli is our director. And Ricky Voss, JJ Bertasia on camera for us. We'll have the third camera going whenever we can figure out why there's gremlins on the backboard right now. But hopefully for the men's game, we'll have enough time to figure that out. There you see some names. One name is long, one name is short. Paul has a much higher GPA than I ever did. And we're ready to go for the second half. Gothic night ball. And we'll see how they adapt here in the second half after a turnover-plagued first and second quarter. 16 giveaways, 17 points off those turnovers for Rowan. That's your difference in this game right now because Rowan is not shooting well, just 27%. Turnaround by Lewis, no good. Edmond goes up, that's also no good. Third opportunity, McCray finds Anderson. Anderson swoops through, that one is blocked. And coming down with it is Johnson. Knights had 3 opportunities and could not convert. Loose ball, Edmond picks it up. So the NJAC Rookie of the Week causing some havoc. Johnson up the court, Johnson drive, and that is going to be an offensive foul. Her 4th foul as she dropped a shoulder into Nicole Mallard, who drew the charge. So Hannah Johnson will sit for a while. 6 points, 4 turnovers, 4 fouls in 11 minutes. In a game the Knights don't have to win, but if they do, would virtually guarantee an NJAC tournament berth. Because if you have a tiebreaker against the league's #1 team, could become important in the last couple weeks of the season. Turnaround floater, no good. Anderson in traffic, got contact in the face and still came out with the ball. No foul was called. McCray with it, over to Ayanna Lewis. Lewis drives, Lewis is blocked by Johnson. Another block for Johnson. That is number 4 for her. By the way, that's now 70 blocks on the season. Jump shot no good. And in and out of the hands of Lewis as she was contested with Sanders. Think about that for a second. 70 blocks in 17 and a half games. That shot no good. Anderson with it. Just a staggering year for Ayanna Johnson defensively. She's got to be the league's defensive player of the year. Obviously, we'd like to see Ayanna Lewis be considered for that. She's had a tremendous junior year herself, but 66 blocks, 14 and a half rebounds. That story is told. Another block. This time McCray comes up with a 3-pointer, no good, and Santana with the board. Santana listed as a forward, but she showed some good ball control there. 3-pointer is good. Mallard with the triple, and she has a game-high 14 points, a third of the Rowan scoring, and the lead is 13. That is the largest lead of the game for Rowan. The Knights had been within 1. Lewis with it. Lewis kicks it back out to Anderson for 3. No good. And a rebound gathered up by Marshall and knocked out of bounds. It'll remain Rowan basketball. DePopolo in for Maya Neal. Zaire Taylor-Gaston in for Lewis. Lewis had a all-time great game against Kane just 3 days ago. Rowan is on a 14-2 run. 3-pointer, that one is short, but right into the hands of Santana, who draws the foul from Anderson. And that will be 4 on Anderson. Just 3 minutes into the 3rd quarter. And a free throw is good. Santana knocks down both. Rowan now 17 of 24 from the line, and Anderson will join Johnson on the bench with 4 fouls, and it's going to have to be the bench today. It's going to contribute. And the pop low, that one blocked out of bounds by Johnson. That is her 6th block. Taylor Gaston knocked off the ball there by Kennedy Brown. Brown will pick up her 2nd foul. Pablo is caught, hands it over, and Mallard finds Brown, and she draws the foul. Foul's on McCray. That is her 1st foul. But Pablo, only a freshman, got to be stronger with the ball possession there. Too easy of a turnover as Mallard, that would have just ripped it out of her hands. Brown knocks down the free throw. No, not much else for NJCU to go to on the bench right now in terms of who can contribute. That one is good. Jasmine Reese was lost for the year for the 2nd year in a row, just 8 games into the season with an injury that ended her season not even a third of the way through, and she was arguably the top center in the league at that time. Jumper by DePopolo is well off the mark. And then Edmond is going to pick up her 4th foul on a loose ball. Another unnecessary foul. I said 4, that'll be her 3rd. Another unnecessary foul on the Knights. And then Alexandria Sams, who was their leading scorer prior to Wednesday, is also out for the year. So the Knights without 2 key pieces, and they now find themselves down by 17. They've been outscored 7-0 here early on in this quarter. Three-point attempt, right side, good. Triple by Marshall. She's got 11. She's 3 of 5 from three-point range, and the lead is 20, and Rowan is pulling away. Gaston is fouled going up. She'll go to the line for a couple of shots. Anderson, Lewis, Johnson, you can argue NJCU's top 3 players, all on the bench, all with foul trouble. And free throw is good by Zaira Taylor Gaston. Gaston started every game last year, but with Coach Devaney's coaching staff adding quite a bit of talent this year, she's found herself becoming a key reserve off the bench. 1 out of 2 from the line. First points of the quarter for the Knights. They've been outscored 10-1. That's an air ball, and then a follow on the rebound is good by Mallard. She'll go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play. Leonardo with the foul. Substitution for Rowan, we'll see Carly Burns for the first time, 5'7" freshman guard out of Ocean County, New Jersey, out of Lavalette, right on the beach near Point Pleasant. That one's good. 3-point play is converted. Mallard, now 16 points to lead all players. Edmond hands it to McCray. 22-point lead for the Pros. McCray into Edmond against Johnson, drawing a foul, and she'll go to the line. Johnson, that is her third foul. She's only scored 3 points on 2 shot attempts, but she has been a defensive puzzle, the best way to say it, for the Knights. 8 rebounds, 6 blocks. 21 minutes on the court. She has just been something NJCU has not been able to solve. That's why she's been the best player in the league defensively, pretty much start to finish. Edmonds makes the first. She'll have one more. Edmond makes both. All of her points have come from the line. She's 3 out of 4. The Knights are within 20 after being down just 1. Johnson converts on the pass inside. And Rowan is just picking apart NJCU inside without its 3 most sizable post players out of the game. The Poplo jumper, that one in and out. No good. Rebound, of course, by Ayanna Johnson. Who else? Rowan tries to answer with a 3. That's no good, but right underneath the basket waiting for it was Mallard. And Rowan will have a fresh shot clock. They are getting to every loose ball. Johnson, Anderson, and Lewis back for NJCU, all with foul trouble. We'll see Alexis Criley for the first time, the junior all-conference player out of my hometown of Fair Lawn, New Jersey, into the game. Looked like McCray was bodied off the ball there. No call. Inside Santana against Anderson, and she's called for her 5th foul. And Deja Anderson will foul out of this game with just 2 points in 18 minutes. 1 out of 10 from the floor, 7 rebounds. So she won't even make it to the 4th quarter today. Free throw attempt by Santana is no good. It's about the quickest foul out I've seen in a while. Foul out in 18 minutes of action for your top scorer. Anderson came into the game averaging 10.5 points a game. Hannah Johnson 10.3. Well, that average will decline today. Anderson just 2 points on 10 shots. That wasn't a great pass, but McCray will sky high and pull it down. Leonardo will drive baseline, pull up, jumper, no good. Lewis is there. Lewis put back, no good. And Johnson ultimately comes up with it, a tie-up. Actually, it was Santana that came up with it, a tie-up with Lewis and Edmond. And it will be Rowan basketball on the jump ball. Not really sure who else NJCU could turn to inside. Maybe Janari Newsom, freshman out of Newark, who hasn't seen a ton of time. After having a very good high school career, that one's knocked down. Another 3-pointer by Santana is good. Newsom may be a player we'll see, but after being one of the top rebounders and shot blockers in the state of New Jersey last year, is not really called on to the college game very quickly. Johnson answers with a triple. And the Knights with the 3. That is their 5th. 3 minutes to go in the quarter. Another jumper this time by Santana, no good. Short McCray comes up with it for the Knights. McCray weaving through Rowan players. McCray down low to Edmond, who misses the layup, and her second attempt, she able to draw the foul. So McCray won't get the assist after finding Edmond on the low block, but Edmond having the wherewithal to follow her shot, and she will go to the line where she's 3 out of 4 today. Good foul shooter in this game is Edmond, but not coming into the day where she was just 48% on the year coming into action. She's now over 50% on the season. Just as I say that, leaves it short. Ayanna Lewis with the rebound, and the putback goes in.
And it's a 20-point deficit with under 3 minutes to go in the quarter.
Loose ball knocked away. Ayanna Lewis with it. It's a 2-on-2. Now a 3-on-2 as McCray goes down the court. Finds Edmond, and she draws contact from Santana. McCray is just doing a great job of making good decisions with her passing in this game, something the Knights need as they've committed 18 turnovers. However, a lot better with the ball here in the second half. And one is left short. Santana, I should say, well, Santana with the foul, but NJCU committed 16 turnovers in the first half, just 2 here in the quarter. They find themselves down by 20 because haven't been able to make field goals. That one knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Rowan after Edmond misses her 3rd free throw in a row after a good start. And Hannah Johnson, who leads NJCU with 9 points, will inbound it. Leonardo for 3. That one is well off the mark. Back rim. Loose ball right in the hands of Johnson, who finds Lewis for a mid-range jumper. No good. Edmond races it down. Johnson, that 3-point attempt is blocked. Followed by Leonardo. 4th attempt, no good. And loose ball on the floor. And a traveling violation? No, a jump ball. And the possession arrow favors the Gothic Knights as Carly got tied up there with Lewis and Edmond. So 5 opportunities now for the Knights. Edmond drives baseline. Edmond draws another foul, so she's doing a very good job of forcing contact from Rowan, but not as good of a job of finishing from the line. Where she's 4 out of 8. She's got 10 rebounds to lead all players in this game. That one will kiss up and in. Edmond has 10 rebounds, 6 are on the offensive glass. That one's left short. Definitely did not bend their knees fully on that one. The coach in me comes out and saw that discrepancy. Racing to the rim and convert. No! In and out. And it will be Rowan basketball after Grace Marshall wants that one back. Gothic Knights have scored the last 7. They still trail by 19. 3-point attempt is banged in by Carly Burns. She's on the board for the first time. Johnson for 3. That one back rim too strong. And a loose ball foul by NJCU. It's on Edmond. That is her 4th. So Edmond's got 4. Johnson's got 4. Anderson's already fouled out. Lewis has 3. And to be honest, a lot of these fouls have been unnecessary. They've been frustration, loose ball fouls. Where instead of dropping and playing defense, you've seen the result. One out of 2. There was a lane violation, however, on NJCU. So they will redo that one. And that one is good. And the Rowan lead is 24. Nearly thrown away. Johnson to the rim. Johnson is fouled. Rowan foul is on number 24, Paige Caldwell. That's her 2nd. Hannah Johnson to the line, knocks down the first. She has 10 points to lead all NJCU players. Lewis with 6, Edmond, Neal, Leonardo with 5 apiece. Mallard leads all players in the game with 17 points as Johnson converts 2. 63-41. Interesting enough, neither team has called a timeout so far. Santana with it. And then a reach-in foul on Lewis. That's her fourth. With 1:03 to go in the quarter. Paige Caldwell will be at the line. 2 out of 2 on the day. She's 1 out of 5 from the field. Caldwell in the year just a 57% foul shooter. That one's too strong. One more coming for the Profs. Rowan on the year shooting 67.8% from the line. And that one is converted. Rowan has no all-conference players on the first or second team from last year. Dominique Peters, who was a all-conference junior last year, not playing this season. Hannah Johnson strong to the rim for 2. And the only other all-conference honoree was Alexis Criley, who's not been used that much, at least in this game. Rowan is the top scoring team in the NJAC by a long shot. That one knocked off of the foot of Tobin. Johnson up the floor. Hannah Johnson will draw the foul. Begging for the jump ball was Santana. 22 seconds to go. 21.9 exactly. Rowan averages 81.6 points a game. That's 11 points more than anybody else. Kane is second at 70.1 as Johnson knocks it down. The Knights averaging 56.9. They've given up 63.9. A lot of that, however, has been 2 or 3 lopsided results, so it's skewed the defense numbers on the year. Loose ball, who gets to it first? As DePopolo dives into the crowd, able to save herself, but not the ball. Big smile on the face of DePopolo. Gets a high five from Leonardo. Are they saying that Rowan touched it last? No. As indeed what is being said. And Demetrius Poles, first-year head coach for Rowan, is not a fan of that call. 15 seconds to go. McCray, three-pointer. Bang! Aaliyah McCray drills the 3. And the Gothic Knights end the third quarter on a high note. One last chance for Rowan. Santana at the buzzer and rattles it in. As not getting back to defend were NJCU, and Rowan at the 3 quarters leads by 19. 66-47, you're watching Gothic Vision here in Jersey City. Final quarter of game number 1 here in Jersey City. Rowan, they've been averaging 15.7 points per game as their scoring margin on the year. They're right around that right now. That layup attempt no good. Johnson comes up with it. Rowan leads the league in virtually every category as Hannah Johnson lost the ball and Santana comes up with it for Rowan. Rowan is your league leader in free throw percentage at 67.8%. As that shot's off the mark, they get their own rebound. They lead the league in rebounding offensively on the year and rebounding margin by 10 rebounds per game over any other team they play, and that's obviously largely because of the marvelous effort of Ayanna Johnson on the year. And because of Johnson, Rowan leads the league in blocked shots at better than 6.5 per game. They lead the league in assists at 15.1 per game. They lead the league in steals at 14.8 per game. What does NJCU lead the league in? Turnover margin, 4.3 more per game than their opponents. Loose ball was going to be tracked down by Taylor Gaston. It was knocked out of bounds by Santana. Sarah Edmond will return here for Leonardo, who has not scored since her quick 5-point contribution in the second quarter. Edmond kicks it out to DePopolo. Right side to Johnson. Not a lot of zip on that pass, so Johnson could not shoot. Johnson drives baseline. Over to Edmond. 6 to shoot. DePopolo with it. DePopolo trying to create her own shot. Inside to Taylor Gaston. That turnaround no good off the side of the rim. Edmond tying up there with Johnson. And the possession arrow favors green and gold rather than brown and gold. Rowan is crying for a shot clock violation, but that clearly hit the side of the rim. Johnson with it. Johnson fires it up as she is fouled. And she'll go to the line for 2 shots. Ayanna Johnson, we talked about her leading the league in rebounds. Well, only one other player, as Johnson has fouled out of this game with 8:33 to go. We'll see if the Gothic Knights can capitalize. Johnson averaging 14.4 rebounds. The only other player in double figures, Shannon Devitt from TC&J at 10.5. Devitt is probably going to be your NJAC player of the year. TC&J in second place in the league, and she's averaging a double-double along with 16.2 points. But Johnson has to be your defensive player of the year. Rowan stepped in the lane. It won't matter because Johnson converts the free throw. So she knocks it down, and it's 66-48. Can the Gothic Knights capitalize without such a fearsome defensive player on the floor? Pass is thrown away. Rowan cannot save it, or do they? DePopolo tried to chase that one down, and they knocked the ball off of her ankles, and it is Rowan basketball. 3-point from the wing, no good. And coming up with it is Rowan. That's over the head of DePopolo. Loose ball, tie up, Rowan possession. And Leonardo will come back in here for DePopolo after Rowan. That pass a little bit off the mark. Turnover on Marshall. She was looking for Holt along the sideline and threw it into the scorer's table. 66-48. Rowan is in front. Taylor Gaston straddling midcourt. Her pass to Edmond off of her knee. And the Gothic Knights cannot take advantage. And DePopolo will come back in. It's a short bench right now because Anderson is fouled out, and Lewis has 4 fouls. Do you put Lewis back in the game here with 4 fouls and risk it, knowing that with Johnson now out of the game, the Knights do have a glimmer of hope to come back? Inlet pass, Johnson tries to knock away on the floor. Santana saves it for Rowan. Santana turns the corner. And the basket no good, but a foul first as the Popolo whistled. See a substitution, and for the first time we will see sophomore guard Emily Ruiz today. 5'1" sophomore out of Jersey City. Went to County Prep, played at Dickinson. Inlet pass to Santana, leaves that one short. And then who is the foul on? It's on Edmond. That is her fourth. Now they're saying that's her fifth. They're saying that's her fifth, so Edmond has fouled out of this game. Stats are wrong in the live stats. So 7:33 to go. Three-pointer is short. And Hannah Johnson picks up her fifth foul. So the Knights with 3 players now having fouled out of this game, and this one can pretty much be chalked up. NJCU with 3 players fouling out. Johnson fouling out for Rowan versus Look. He's good there by Mallard. And now Rowan can just pretty much run out this final 7 minutes because the Gothic Knights don't have much scoring left out there. Having to go deep to its bench. Only Ayanna Lewis out there in terms of a player who has scored this year. Ayanna Lewis trying to avoid picking up her 5th foul. She got a block there. But the Knights turn it over, and an easy layup in transition for Savannah Holt. Ayanna Lewis, cross-court pass to Leonardo. Moves over to Ruiz. Back to Lewis here from the Popolo. Lewis to Ruiz, who wasn't ready for the pass. And we will see Destiny Myrick make her first appearance, sophomore out of Lawrence, New Jersey. Edmond, I should say Lewis back to Leonardo, misses the 3. A rebound comes to Marshall. And this ball coming up with it is Ayanna Lewis on the steal. Lewis to the rim. Lewis off the glass and no good. As she floated that one up there, couldn't get the contact. Almost picked up her 5th foul. Long three-pointer, temp bang. Grace Marshall from long range. And it's 73-48. I'm not sure why the whistle, the sound, the horned sound at the table. But the Knights will sub, so will Rowan. And bring back in Kennedy Brown for Grace Marshall. It's been an interesting game in terms of how things have been called. Knights are now deep into their bench. Leonardo for 3, that one no good. And a rebound by McCray, is the only starter left out on the floor. Only one who hasn't picked up foul trouble. Swooped in, misses that one. Blocked out of bounds by Rowan. Leonardo inbounds to Myrick. Myrick low pass here to the Popolo. Nearly a double dribble. McCray swoops in with the floating layup. And the Knights over 50. They still trailed by 23. Spin move by Kennedy Brown and a foul on Leonardo. Leonardo picking up the foul. Rowan has scored the last 7 points. The Knights are just one of their last 10 from the field. And Rowan will continue to pull away here, now up by 24. That's their second largest lead of the game. The largest was 58-32 when they led by 26. That's no good. The Poplar with it. She's being contested on the sideline. And we'll see a substitution. Returning will be Mallard. McCray with it, the Popolo for three, and the Popolo knocks down the triple. Second three-pointer in her career in 4 chances. And the Knights down 74-53, under 5 to go. Santana turns the corner with the driving layup. Santana playing with just 1 foul. She's avoided contact mostly. And the Knights are going to call a timeout to talk this one over. 4:31 to go. It's 76-53. The men's game will follow this one at approximately 2 p.m. It'll probably be closer to about a 2:10 start based on the timing of this one. Hey fans, did you know that NJCU Gothic Vision now has its own app? It's true. In fact, you might be watching this game on the app on your iPhone right now. If you have an iPhone and you don't have the app, well, go to the App Store and download the NJCU Gothic Vision app today. It's free. Watch all home games that you cannot attend live on your mobile device. And if you miss it live or just want to see it again, although we'll probably not want to watch this one again, go back and watch on demand. All of this available on Gothic Vision. Get the app today. And, of course, are you a subscriber to the Gothic Knights on YouTube? Well, you should be. Log on to youtube.com/NJCU Gothic Knights and subscribe today. After the timeout, first one taken in this game, the Popolo is going to get some time at point guard for the Knights and immediately throws this one away, but unable to control the ball was Holt, and the Popolo gets it back. Popolo over to McCray. McCray for three. That is too strong, and caroms over the head of Destiny Myrick. Rowan still playing with the majority of its starters on the floor. That is knocked down. Triple by Holt, who's not one of the starters. And she was able to convert that one, and she's got 5 points. I should mention into the game for Rowan is Jaslyn Duverglass. Now out of the game is Mallard, so Mallard will exit with a game-high 19 points, 6 out of 12 from the field, 8 rebounds. She's had herself a day. Ruiz on the inbounds pass. She'll go to the line and try to convert. Now, a chance for some of the reserve players for the Knights to gain some time in a game, gain some experience, I should say, in a game that has gotten away. And knocked that one down is Emily Ruiz. Big contributor for the Knights on their Student Athlete Advisory Committee, the SAC. Her first free throws of the season, makes 1 out of 2. She's only played 21 minutes on the year, coming in 5 games. And driving layup is good by Holt. She's got 5, now 7 points. And the lead is 81-54, getting very close to the territory it was the first time these teams played, and McCray's pass knocked away. But last touch by NJCU as the Gothic Knights commit their 22nd turnover. Again, the first time these teams met, Rowan won that game by 26 points, 83-47. They lead this one by 27. even on a day where Rowan is only shooting now up to 36%, they've proven to be just the best well-rounded team in the league. As McKenna Dowd, junior guard out of Williamstown, just checks in, and in her first playing time, commits the traveling violation. So just over 3 minutes to go here in Jersey City. Top Popolo bounce pass to Leonardo for three. That is left short and into the hands of Dowd. Up court quickly. Nice pass to a driving Duverglass. Credit the assist to Holt. And Rowan leads by 29.
14.
This will likely turn out in a game that was once a one-point game in the second quarter to be NJCU's third most lopsided loss of the year. As McCray swoops in, she draws contact. The Knights, in their second game of the year, lost to Amherst, then the number one ranked team in the country, in Massachusetts, 80-24. That was a 56-point deficit. And then after beating Rutgers Newark on December 14th, they had to turn around shorthanded, missing 3 starters with injuries the next day, and lost on the road at Drew by 50, 90-40. They trail here by 29. McCray, who hit the game-winning free throws to beat Newark in that game we just mentioned, knocks down the second one here after missing the first. As we approach 2 minutes to go here in Jersey City. Holt thought about a three. Chance to drive was cut off by DePopolo. Three-point attempt by Duverball. No good. Couple misses by Dowd. And Burns. Burns gets the rebound, knocked out of bounds off NJCU. And it'll be a 5th opportunity here for Rowan in a second. Turnover on Rowan. Three-pointer, no good by Ruiz. Under 90 seconds to go. Last touch by Rowan. McCray, and call a jump ball there. McCray, you see the look in her face, is flabbergasted. And JC does have possession. Today's the final day of the NCAA convention, and right now, after the business session in Anaheim, NJCU President Dr. Sue Henderson is being honored for her service as today ends her term as the president of the Division III President's Committee and the vice chair of the NCAA Board of Governors. Destiny Myrick at the line with 70 seconds to go. That one no good. And a rebound by Duverglass with 1:06 to play. Under a minute to go. Rowan about to improve to 10-1 in the NJAC and 16-2 on the year. Three-pointer by DePopolo, no good. And Duberglass with another rebound. He's had a good game. Limited minutes off the bench. McCray picks that one up, but couldn't control it. And a fresh 30-second here for Rowan. They will run out the clock. And the Rowan Profs will send the Gothic Knights to their third straight loss, second in the league. But both of NJCU's losses have been against the top two teams in the league in the standings, Keene and Rowan. Gothic Knights force a tie-up here with Rowan trying to run out the clock. The Knights not giving up. As they tie up Holt. Possession arrow will favor Rowan, so they just have to inbound the ball, and that is what McKenna Dowd will do. Final score in game one of our doubleheader today. Rowan on top of NJCU, 83-55. The Profs, they're 16-2, 10-1. They were led today by Mallard, who had 19 points on 6 of 12, and Johnson with 9 rebounds and 6 blocks before fouling out. Hannah Johnson had 15 for the Knights, and McCray had 10. Game 2 of our doubleheader will be coming up at approximately 2:05 p.m. It'll be the men's turn as NJCU hosts Rowan in a rematch of last year's NJAC championship game. This Gothic Vision broadcast has been a copyrighted production of New Jersey City University Athletics. All rights are reserved. For more information, please contact the NJCU Office of Athletic Communications. We'll be back in just a bit on a different stream for the men's game. Ira Thor with you live here in Jersey City. We'll talk to you in 20 minutes.